And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Songs of Six. In theory, we should be shortly getting a little bit more knowledge in. In fact, we've already got 50 to 60 something we got coming in. The question is, what do I want to pick up? Argument for fine dining, argument for medicine, argument... Oh, I need second floors for bathhouses. Okay, so bathhouses is out. Need second floors for improving the speakers. Could do carrying capacity. We're not. I don't think we're that burdened by logistics right now. Could improve the benches. Secret police, work safety. Hopefully don't need that flat law. Let's hope the existing law is enough. Really don't need school. Well, universities wouldn't be bad, but we don't quite have enough of that. In schools, we don't need unless we're going to be having children. Improving the embassies would make sense if we actually built some. Yeah, I think I'm going to take that argument. That stage... Oh, that's the speaker. So I could upgrade the stage, or I could get fine dining. Thinking about fine dining. Go into the town. What is that going to cost to build? Before I sign up for building something I might not be able to afford. Furniture, pots, and metal, all of which I have. So that's probably a do. Yeah, I think we do fine dining. Get a couple of restaurants going. But first, let's get the last of the hearths upgraded. Then let's grab the fine dining. Distribution. Restaurants. So I might as well build the restaurant over here first. Get an idea of what a restaurant might look like. We've got plenty of space. Okay, so a table that wants access on both sides. So that's the cooking station. Okay, so we need a certain number of tables per cooking station. Because it's not happy. And that would work. Okay, so for each cooking station, I need one. I need one space at a table. Okay, and that provides services in theory for 290 people. So let's say 300. So we need like 5 of these dining halls, which makes sense. We've got 4 other communities, so building 5 of these wouldn't be too bad. Maybe not that exact shape. That's maybe not a very efficient shape. But that one's fine there. Oh, I need a door. It's reminding me, hey, you can't build that without a door. This is perfectly true. Okay, so that's that one queued up. I'm going to have to find a good place over here to put a restaurant. Probably wants to be closer to the right side. We're going to be on top of some of the nice forestry area, but that's probably fine. We got enough over here. We got to stretch along the river here, so that'll be fine. Okay, let's try to combo. Let's make sure this one, ideally where we can get it to work large enough. Okay, I've got an idea how we can do this. We can do that there, and we want it a little wider, a little shorter. A little bit wider than that. Here we go. Again, that will employ or service about 300 people. Oh, can I go? Okay, this is the pain with clicking. Can I make the main table longer? Or the main station longer? Yes. So this time it does a little bit more people, which is good because the main neighborhoods are going to want bigger spots anyway. There we go. And then it only need a couple doors. No problems there. Okay. And then that one, I think is good enough that we just copy that and place that on the rest of the places. So we need one here, and one over here. Conveniently fits there. Put one there. No, put one there. Okay. So let those build. We got the pots, we got the furniture, we got the metal, so they should all build. And that should be just about enough to provide the services for everyone. We might not have enough people, different problem. But provide enough services it should. In fact, they might not build particularly fast because we don't have enough odd jobbers to build it. We've got 0 odd jobbers. So the people that are actively building it are actually people who are just idle on their main job. Hatch brother, let us make a friendship to the next level. They give us trade, we give them trade, we pay them money. Okay? So, who was that? That was, I think, these guys, open trade, yeah. So we just got these guys who we're not trading with. We would probably want to trade with them, but that would require giving them more than our current treasury. So unless we got a lot of resources to give them, that would be worth a lot. Yeah. And the gems are worth a decent amount, but they're not worth that much. So, yeah, not establishing trade with the last person yet. Supreme Ruler, I am your neighbor, and welcome you to my lands. So they like us. If I decline, they're not going to be happy about that, so we'll just take their veg and a little bit of their friendly coinage. Okay, let's let another 50 people in. so we can get a little bit more construction going. The food shortage issue is going to clear in 2.5 days. We got 2 days worth of food, so as long as they don't eat it too badly, we should be fine on food. Do restaurants require herbs? Why not account for that? I probably didn't account for that. I'm gonna need a lot of herbs. Others are gonna have some very unproductive restaurants. Okay. We are, I think, about at the top of the good farmland there, to be fair. Those won't be the most productive of fields. Oh, we're off in Till. Till's fine. It's not as good as the Rich. Which means I should actually build over here. I want more herbs, which I probably do. Oops. Gotta put it down before I can do the next one. You using all your crates? No. I'm gonna put a couple more on herb, so you can store more herb locally. We have 21 workers assigned to odd jobbing, so these should get built reasonably quickly. If anything, I should be more worried about the fact we might overload the canal system, although we got... Oh, yeah, the canal system is currently overloaded. We'll go to the max workers, which should bring this up to 600, which shouldn't be overloaded at that point. It might be a little bit late in the season here to get enough herbs coming in, but we'll see. We'll see how ineffective the restaurants are without the herbs. No available service because no available herbs. Yeah, okay. Money is, in theory, trending up. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm in a good place to necessarily use... money to buy stuff. metal maintenance is over production at this point, so at this point I am importing constantly on the form metal. Okay. Okay, not quite enough expectation. What's law dropped? Yeah, law dropped. Someone somewhere did not get caught doing their thing. So there's another thing I could be adding is more fighting pits. Although I probably only need one more fighting pit. Let's grab another one of these. Got 10 workers for that. Yeah, kinda gotta hope that the law improves. Should be improving. I don't have enough stocks. And maybe don't have enough dungeon. Where some of the complaint might be coming from. Let's try to get a few more stocks, see if that helps. Five capacity, yeah, okay. Now employ over 15 herb farms. Okay, we should be getting more herbs in, and I need more people. I don't actually have housing for more people. That's a slightly different problem. We'll have to improve houses somewhere to allow for more people to come in. Or at least I want to do it before I let more people in. Yeah, I guess we'll let 40 more in. Okay, see if that helps in the law and order. At least means more that people can be punished that way. Our scouts report that these people have about 6 soldiers. Paying them the sum is a safe bet. Declining might lead to trouble. Well, we only got 6. I'm going to try to say no here. That's a lot of money to pay off 6 people. Especially when in theory we should have a garrison. Yeah, we have a garrison of 20. Fully trained 20. Let's edit these guys to have just a little bit more training. So hopefully they're a better deterrence. More training. And that on the world map. This city is growing. It's up to 165. Actually has 5 open spots, so I could be making the determination here what I want to give it. So if it's going to a target of 300, I don't need to give it anything to go the next tier other than let it just be. Yeah, this is not a big enough city I can take it to the final tier. So there's no actual real point in putting growth here. It's either for leather or for eggs and meat. We're gonna go leather here. We're gonna set that and such. Eventually it'll grow enough that we can upgrade the main building and get some more workers out of it, but that'll be fine for the moment. And to be fair, I'm occupying the place of the army, I can technically be demanding taxes. Much more in taxes. Yeah, the regions are pretty good. I don't think we've got enough... Oh, no, I could put the tax rate up decently. So we can collect a little more taxes there. You're a bit grumpy. Oh, loyal, but a little grumpy. Yeah, and they're still wanting quite a bit for a trade. We don't quite have that yet. Government-wise, we are at the point where we could be building things like the embassy. Well, that takes cost stone and paper and other stuff that we don't necessarily have right now. Well, stone, paper, and cloth. Cloth we probably do want to make more of. Accident has occurred. 4 subjects are injured and will seek out a hospital. There were 2 deaths. Not necessarily a big concern. Let's prepare for an attack. Again, they've got 6 people. We've got 20. Maybe not the most concerned about that. We've got 50 net leather. There's an argument there to expand our leather armor production. Okay, we're gonna go fight them out in the field. Hopefully our army can defeat them in the field. It is 6 raiders versus 20 of our guys. The biggest drawback we have right now is I think our home garrison doesn't actually have any armor, which is what I was contemplating dealing with. Yeah, they deployed with spear and shield and no armor. So hopefully that will be plenty. Yeah, it's a total of 5 guys. We've got 20. Not too worried about our guys' situation. Let's see, what do they have for equipment? So they've got 1 guy on Warbeast back in plate. And then so what they've got going for them is they got real good equipment. Good armor, good weapons, although they do not have numbers on their side. And they are melee, they will have to charge. So we will be able to get our spears to do their duty. So the hope is that they're not so aggressive that they or so tactically smart that they do an encirclement. Otherwise, I think the morale should hold. Enemy horse charges. Are they just going for my objective, or are they actually coming? They're gonna come back. Yeah, they did come back. Or at least contemplated it, at least. The fight rages on. We have lost 1 to their 6, so the trade ratio is not going very well here. Okay. We took down the mounted enemy. At the cost of 2 of our own. If we're trading 2 to 1, we win in those odds because they only had 6. That would be 12 of our 20 destroyed or defeated, but that would be fine. There we go. 6 bandits defeated at the cost of 4 of our town garrison. The enemy has been beaten. Rejoice. Spoils from the battle will soon arrive. Do you wish to accept the captives, or should we release them, my lord? We shall release them. Decline the captives. We don't need captives from the bandits. Raider defeated. The once mighty Jas Corleon lies dead at your feet, O mighty one. This will surely send a powerful message through all 6. In addition, his personal treasury has been found and looted by our men. A total of 144,400 nari were found and have been transported to our treasury. Okay. With that, I think we have enough to negotiate a trade deal. It's an expensive trade deal, but we can negotiate it nonetheless. Now we got trade relations with our neighbor and our neighbor's neighbors. So now we're trading with a sum total of 3,500 people, let's say. So we should be a little bit less worried about just flooding the market with any individual good. So we should be more capable of trading. Trading the surpluses away for the spoils of our benefits. Okay. Oh, people are happy because there was an emergency. Okay. So that's not a sustainable increase, but that is a increase. The emergency being that this town is under attack, yeah. Trying to debate what I can do to get improved state of affairs. We built this whole restaurant system. The restaurant system is actually working. It's struggling on the amount of herbs. And then food days could be better. So there's another way. Well, that wouldn't necessarily improve food days. That just improve food production. Do you have any open storage space over here? So I can store a little bit more leather, for example. Oh, that's a carpenter. I probably just need another warehouse over here. Oh, and I didn't get around to building... That was what I was doing before I got interrupted by the battle. I was thinking of getting another leather armor maker going, so we can have some more leather armor being produced. So we need a stockpile over here for leather, and I need a stockpile... And I need another armor maker. Let's do... Copy you. Another 10 leather makers. Armor makers. A little warehouse out back. Okay. Not the most efficient design, but it'll fit there and work fine. Then up here we have 20 knowledge, 30 innovation. Can I boost food production effectively with that? That's a no there. That's basically telling us that, hey, you'd be better off just reducing the number of workers in that industry. Same there. I don't even have enough to do pastures. Yeah, we're doing that one. It's food A, food B, food 3. Yeah, no. Now this would be bonus on herbs. That probably actually is worth doing that for the herbs. We'll do that for the herbs. The first one makes sense, the second one is not going to. Okay. And that's basically food A, 3 types of food, unless we're going to get, where's the ration makers? We get buffs to the ration makers somewhere. This is the buffs to ration makers. Which is also carpenters, potters, and tailors. Ooh. That's interesting. So that's going to make this hard to evaluate, because this is based off of how many people do I have working in those workshops. Well, specifically, if I'm thinking about it from a food perspective, how many do I have working in the ration maker shop? So that's definitely worth clicking. Maybe not purely for food, but this is giving us pretty good returns, worker to worker. Okay, that's not too bad. Again, that's mostly going to probably affect carpenters, potters, ration makers, and tailors. Which is quite a bit of industry. Now, is that a throughput mod, or is that... I think that's just a yield mod, so that's actually pretty good. So normally this would be 4 to 3, so if we're consuming... I would have to probably do that quickly on the calculator to figure out if that's doing what I think it does. So... 26... 6.77. Decimal point in the right spot. Divided by 4 times 3... makes 20. Okay, so I think that's just a throughput mod. It's not a productivity mod. We don't want to buy anything from the slaver, so we're sending the slaver on his way. So boosting that is not just going to yield more stuff per input. It's just going to make them use more to make more. Which is fine when we've got the inputs, which we do right now for the cotton and the leather. Oh, is cloth not included? Furniture, ceramics. That's tailors, not weavers. Okay. Are they on here then? Or do I not have a way to boost my weavers? Jeweler, masonry, mechanic, papersmith, smithies. So, no. No, so it's not any of those. That's pasture stuff. That's the mines. Woodcutters. Ah, basic refining. Does bakeries, weavers. Oh, so all the refining. Okay, so the weavers and the refining. That one's less valuable. Because I don't have as many of those people. Although bakeries would probably be... If we're trying to do rations, I could, I suppose, import grain and then bake the grain. That wouldn't be too bad of a plan. And then here we should set you to accept some leather, some of the armor. Might end up doing some clothing around here. Will you to accept some furniture? You got lots of crates. I'm not sure what we want in all those crates right now. Although we'll put a tick at each of the food types here that we're, in theory, generating. I could put a tick of herb. And then I will do a pull from order to pull herb from over here. And we can try to get the herbs distributed a little bit more. We're not making enough herbs. But if we're trying to make enough herbs, we'd like them to be properly distributed. And yeah, out on the map, I think we are basically steady state, unless I'm going to do some trespassing. You're not going to grow anymore. You're not going to grow anymore. You're not going to grow anymore. You're growing, you're like the one place that could grow. Not sure what we're going to put there. I could probably tax the places where we have the army stationed more. Although I don't, it's not going to be a big returns, because workforce that isn't doing a resource deployment provides product, or that isn't doing a resource shipment provides raw money. I think that raw money is tax generating. Find a place with some surplus workers to show that. You have some surplus worker. Yeah, so... Or is it just the workforce? Just having workforce. Might be just having workforce is tax generating. Yeah, might just be having workforce is tax generating. Yeah, I think the city's going well. Our funds are trending up over time, although I have a bad habit of spending them on things. Well, and establishing more trade deals. At the moment, we're not establishing more trade deals, so it's more trying to get enough people in the city that we can make things to export, I think is the next step. In theory, I have an import depot set for rations. We are positive on rations, so I don't need that import depot anymore. Could swap that over to something else, importing something else. In fact, I think I know what I want to put that. Set that to import, which is I'd like to swap it if I can find it. I think it was up here. Did I put it down? Ah, it's down here. We're gonna swap you from rations to herbs. Start importing some herbs so we can get the restaurants working a little bit better. Supposedly I'm ore short. Surprised. Might as well just turn the ore mine up to max. So that's as much ore as we're going to get without finding a different ore deposit, so that's as much ore as we're going to get. If we need more ore than that, I need to import it. Ore does keep better than metal. Metal probably keeps better than tools and such. Oh no, metal keeps as well as tools. We are importing tools. That would be something worth maybe transitioning to. Is basically transitioning to exporting finished goods. To try to bring in revenue. And then importing other stuff. Yeah, our leather stockpiles are full, which probably is an argument for just having more leather stockpile. For the moment. Same sort of concept for fiber. And wood's actually probably a good industry to do stuff with, so I can make more furniture. Furniture production would be sensible. Furniture or paper. So if I wanted to continue going up the basic craftsmanship set, that's carpentry, pottery, rations, tailoring. So clothes, probably wanting to be out of cloth. Probably actually focus mostly on the first three if we can. So more furniture, more pots, more rations. We could set an export industry for those. And a lot of that stuff, we've got the local production, the inputs. So we could just do pure... Suppose we could just do pure profit if we were really desperate. And just push exports to generate revenue. Probably do with a couple more export depots. I'm looking at the treasury and finding the treasury is now empty because we've been trying to buy herbs, and that wasn't working. So let's set up a couple export depots over here. We want two over here, one for probably clay, one for pottery. And then we'll leave furniture up here, close to this nice forest. So I can put two export depots here. Extra import depots. And that's probably going to be exporting excess leather and clothing. No, wooden furniture. Wooden furniture. yeah, probably work on those two next. And get more people in to expand industry. Okay. You're going to be exporting wood. I do want the limit here pretty high. Like 75% of the stockpile on wood. Furniture will be a little lower. We'll do like 50% furniture. And then down here, it's clay. Which again, because we use it locally, we want reasonably large. And pots, which we do also use locally, but we're going to set it like half the stockpile. There we go. And now I just need to expand those industries. But we'll leave that for the next time. I'm going to try to keep this part a little bit more under control. So now we just need to get people in to do these industries, right? So we know our clay industry here is massive. So if we can keep people happy while expanding the workforce to bring more stuff in to hopefully both improve the treasury and improve people's welfare, I think that will be good. So yeah, we're gonna focus probably on making and exporting furniture and pottery and trying to import other stuff. Tech-wise, I didn't save any innovation for fruit crafting tools, although that picking up a little bit more innovation to do that would not be too difficult, I think. And we've got 20 knowledge kicking about. If we do move into doing more weaving, we could grab schooling and try to start raising people locally. It would be one way to get the city expanding, even if migration is not helping as much. And if we're trying to run too far past expedition, that's what's going to become the problem. So with that, this is where I think we're going to put this part break in. If you're watching on YouTube, we'll have another part up tomorrow. We're going to try to switch gears sort of from conquering the world to peacefully integrating them using the wonders of money. So that'll be next time. We're going to try to expand our industry to increase money. And hopefully that'll work. It might not. This is the biggest city I have actually built in this game. So we'll see how well that goes. And if you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. We are going to take the midstream tea break here, where I'll go get a cup of tea. We are going to do 5 parts today, and this was the end of the second part, so expect 3 more parts coming up. So until the next part, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.